I am wanting to let you know that this session is being recorded. And so if you don't want your comments on here, then you can wait till we stop. But the session's being recorded for everybody so that you can view it at a later time or review it as you wish. Okay? I would like to welcome you to Eastern Online. This is our new student orientation. I'm an instructional designer with Eastern Online. And my job is to try and help you and the instructor get the material together so that you both understand what needs to happen and when it needs to happen. And because of that, I've been doing this for several years. Would like to let you know some of the problems that we see and some of the ways you can help that. This is your first time with Eastern. I want to let you know that there's real humans at the other end of this online course, and that we're here to help you. We want you to succeed. We are going to do our level best to make sure that you do succeed. But then there's some things you need to do. One of the key components to the online world, and it may sound funny, but it's time management. You really need to work on your time management, and by that I mean, though you're not having to show up at a course at 8 o'clock on Monday morning, you can work at whatever time you want, but set aside a regular time. If that's 8 o'clock at night, do it 8 o'clock at night. If it's once a week, fine. If it's twice a week, it depends on how much study time you have available and how much you need for the subject matter you're working on. And this is really critical, because it's too easy to say, well, I'd rather do something else and I'm going to put that off until tomorrow. And then tomorrow becomes next week. And if you do that, you will make it very, very difficult on yourself. And if you get a couple of weeks behind, you will have one heck of a time ever successfully completing the course. So I really can't emphasize this strongly enough, that you need to figure out what time works for you. If that's 3 o'clock in the morning, go for 3 o'clock in the morning. Don't care. That's the great flexibility of an online course. But you really need to have a regular study time, and you need to stick with it. If you'll do that, you can be successful in these classes. Some people have the mistaken idea that this is going to be easier, and I don't think you're going to find that to be the case. So please, please, please set up a regular study time. Completely and carefully read all the material in your course. That includes the syllabus. The syllabus provides you lots of information, and you would be well served to read that and understand it. And if you have questions about it, then contact your instructor and get that stuff clarified, and get it clarified soon. You want to make sure that you have the right textbook. You want to make sure you're doing the right assignments, that you're doing it the right way. And that's all part of this carefully reading the material that's available and listening to the lectures and all of the things that go with that. There's a difference between online courses and face-to-face courses. Now, some of you may have online experience. I'm sure you all have face-to-face experience. Anybody care to share some of the differences that you have seen in those classes? I'm putting this out to you. You can put this in a question, you can answer in chat, or you can hit your microphone and talk to me that way. Come on, I know you're out there. No? Okay, we've got somebody going in chat here. Come on. Can you repeat the question? Okay, the question is, what differences have you seen between an online class and a face-to-face class? Okay, we've got on the chat, we've got face-to-face classes allow an easier access for a collaborative effort. That's true. Although you have the ability to collaborate online, and we may get into a little bit of that. What else? Anybody? Yes, an online class allows for self-paced study to a point. Remember, you still are within a quarter. So if you're taking an online class for a quarter, the quarter starts at a particular time and ends at a particular time. So self-paced is relative. You have more flexibility in when you can study and how you can do that. You don't have to be here Monday at 8 o'clock. You don't have to show up in the classroom. But you do have to study on a regular basis, and you do have things, you have times, you have deadlines, and you need to be aware of that for your assignments, for your discussion boards, and all of those things. There are deadlines, and there are times that those things have to be completed. So be aware of that. What else? Anything else? Okay. All right. You know, definitely there are differences, but from an instructional standpoint, you can be going over the same material. Okay? You should come out, whether you take the class online or face-to-face, you should come away with the same sort of information. You should learn the same things. It's just a little different method of delivery. All right, some technical requirements. Browsers, your web browser, not all of them are supported by support Canvas. Canvas works well with Chrome. It works well with Firefox, and you also works with Safari. Stay with the latest versions. If your software is a little bit out of date, fix that. It's free. Upload the latest browsers. Stay away from Internet Explorer. That creates some problems with Canvas. Doesn't work quite as seamlessly as it should. So I would avoid that. Keep all of your software up to date and additional plugins if you need a flash player or some of the other things that will come up from time to time. You want to make sure that your software is up to date, including your Windows or your operating system, whether you're using Mac or you're using the Windows machines, okay? There is software. Some of you will have software requirements for some of your courses, and there is software that's available. I'm going to take and share the screen here for a minute. And let's bring up Firefox. Doop, 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 doop. Okay, here we go. This is software that's available through the college. Because you are a member of this university, you are a student at this university, you get a substantial break to free software. There is Microsoft Office. You can upload the latest version of that. There's also programs in the Adobe Creative Cloud. Check it out. Take a look at what software is available to you. But if it's not free, it's available at a substantial, very substantial discount. So it doesn't have to cost you a fortune to be working with the latest and greatest software. There's good stuff here, and you can find it by going to our website, ewu.edu, and doing a search for software. And that happens for faculty, staff, and or students. Please check that out. Equipment. What kind of equipment do you need? In that particular case, if you will stay with a computer that is 3 years old or less, So some of you, plus or minus a little bit. It isn't exact, depends on the configuration of the computer. But you want to keep your software up to date. And almost any of the computers, whether it's a laptop or a desktop machine, if it's within the last 3 years, should work fine. Should work fine for you. I would also recommend that you have a good connection, some sort of high-speed lines, and that you have a headset with a microphone like we're using tonight. It's going to make life a bit easier for you. So let me close this. We're going to go back here. I'm going to go back this way. The idea of using the headset with a microphone, when you don't use the microphone, there's a tendency, if you use the speakers on your computer, you can get some feedback, and it can cause problems for other people that are on the line. And so we want to try and avoid that. And the headset with a microphone or earbuds with a little microphone can work fine, as long as you're not taking your speaker output and feeding it into your mic. Okay, that's what we want to avoid. All right, and the other thing that we'd like you to have is a webcam. Now, if you have a laptop, pretty good odds you've already got one built in. If you don't, a webcam is about a $20 item. This headset with a mic on it is approximately a $20 item. You can spend a lot more on it. You can get fancier ones. You can get bigger, better, and all of that. Not required. The $20 mic and the $20 webcam will work just fine. We use a bunch of them here on the campus. So it doesn't have to break the bank. This can be done very reasonably. Now, getting into our learning management system, I'm going to guess that some of you have yet to log on, and you want to know when your courses will be available and then how to log into them. And I'm going to do that. We've got this great system here. I'm in an area where when I sit quietly, the lights go out. So if I could stand up and jump around, and it'll probably come back on. But what I'm really interested in right now is to get, let me bring up web browser, and we're going to do a sharing. Chrome. Okay. And here is sharing with the Chrome. When I take and go to current students, this is our website. Notice it says www.ewu.edu. That's our home website. I can go to current students, and I can go to Canvas, and then log into Canvas. And this is what the screen looks like, and it'll say Eastern Single Sign-On. You'll put in your net ID, and that's basically your campus email. It's your address, and whatever your password is, and then click Login and Agree. That gets you into Canvas, and here's what we call the dashboard. And on the dashboard, we're working right now in New Student Online Orientation. I'm going to click that. This brings me into the home page. And then I'm going to go to Modules on the left side. And when I click Modules, then that shows me the material that is within this course. And here are the modules. Okay, I would like to show you a little bit about how we have designed a number of our courses. Now, all of the courses, the exact course design is determined by your instructor. We have some basic designs, but there's not a lot of rules and regs on this, okay? Just understand that we have particular process that we go through, but instructors can do it the way they want. And the very first thing that we have in our modules in most of the courses will be something that says Basic Canvas Setup. And that's Setup and Support. That's for you. This Basic Canvas Setup brings up a lot of information. It says how do we, if you haven't been into Canvas before, then you need to know how to do it. And that takes you to this Basic Canvas Setup page. There's a lot of links. With the student support, if I hit student support and info, I've got student orientation to online courses, all of this. There's more material. Lots of things for you. And basic Canvas setup, how to get your profile set up, edit your profile, include profile pictures, all of this sort of thing. Some of your instructors will definitely want you to put a picture in there in your profile, so you don't just put your cat or your dog in there. Put yourself in. It's a good idea. And take and set up your profile, set up your notifications and alerts. And let's see if I can show you a little bit of that. Let's go back here. I go back. And I'm going to go to Settings. Whoops. No. Just a moment. Yeah, Settings. Let's go to Student View. And then I'm going to go to the account. And this is a test student. We have the profile. Whoops. It's not going to play nice with that. Okay, I'm going to have to get out of student view. And we'll bring up my account and my profile. Who I am, a little bit of my biography, and so forth. There are settings that we can put in here. This is how you set up where you go in and edit your information, get everything set that you want, put in alternate email addresses if you want. You cannot forward your campus mail to the to your Gmail account or Hotmail or anything like that. We don't allow that from the campus email. But you can put in an alternate address for notification purposes. And notifications are here. And in course activities, course content, announcements, or into discussion boards, if you look to the right, it's a little bit confusing. There seems to be a lot of marks and whatnot. But you've got an email address, and the EWU address gives us the opportunity to have things sent to my campus email. I also have a Gmail account set up, and I can have different notifications sent there. All right? And the icons here are fairly simple. If I want to know about due dates, if something changes, I can hit the check mark, and that will be for immediate. Every time something changes, there's going to be a notification sent. It's going to be sent to my email, and it will be done immediately. I have an option of a once a week kind of thing, and this one here is, or this is daily, and this is weekly. Or if I hit the X, that means I don't want it to send me any notification. Now you can also set this up so that it will text you on your cell phone. And some of you on cell phones may want that, but I can tell you that thing may be ringing off the hook with certain activities. Depends on how many online courses you have and what notifications you have checked. But it is an option, so it is something you can do. Do we have any questions about this particular part so far? Anything coming in? Okay. I'm going to go back to my setup here. Okay. Okay, cool. Sean, yeah, you do. Yeah, and thank you for bringing up the Canvas app. For those of you that intend to use your cell phone, there is a Canvas app available. If you're using an iPad or something, there's also a Canvas app. And it will allow you to do many things within your course, primarily communication stuff. You can send emails, you can participate in the discussion boards. It's going to be more of a problem if you try to do assignments through that. I just want you to be aware, okay? And says the app doesn't do notifications. You would, okay. It doesn't let you get to the notifications through that, Janet? Is that the case?
Where you set up those notifications is on this can you take it back a screen, Gary?
Yeah.
Because that's where you set it up. The app isn't where you get notified. You get notified on your personal devices. And you can have notifications sent to Twitter or to Facebook or as many email addresses or cell phones as you want, but they don't go to the app itself.
Yeah. Okay.
And I believe, I wanted to check on that previous screen. I believe Instagram and a couple others. I can't remember what they were. So I wanted you to look at that previous screen.
Well,
I've only used Twitter and Facebook personally, but I think it was hit notifications when that screen.
Yeah, well, notification preferences.
Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. That's the wrong screen. It's under profile.
Okay. You can go to edit profile, but I don't think that's it.
Let's see if it's there. It might be under settings.
I think what you're looking for is
here it is.
Email addresses and contact method. Yeah.
So anything you can add under contact method.
A cell number, so forth,
email,
SMS. Yeah.
And also those registered services down there. That's where it says Twitter.
Yeah, if you go in here, I'm not quite sure why that wants to go off the screen, but there it is.
So you can register your emails, your cell here, and then under the middle of the screen where it says registered services, Skype, LinkedIn, Twitter, and I know you can do Facebook. I don't know why it's not showing there as a... Well,
that's a matter of which ones you select to have available, and I don't have that. I don't use it. So there's some of the things you can do. These are all things that as a student you can adjust. You have many things that you can set. And just be aware, it could load up your phone, it could load up your email, in which case you can go back in and change it at any time. You do not have to live with it just because you set it up a certain way. It's always editable.
Yeah, but if you use Skype all the time, you can be notified there.
There you go. Okay, so different ways that you can approach this. There's several ways you can do it. Figure out what works for you. Okay, but this is how you get in, set up your profile, set up your notifications, and there's a bunch of them to be set up. Now let me go back to our other selection here. I'm going to go back. Okay, we're going to go back here. You can. I would recommend that in the announcements area of notifications, do have that set up for immediate notification, because if there's anything going on that is needed and it's a change, you know, that there's going to be some change in class, or you're going to have a special speaker or something like that, then you really want to know those. You want to know as soon as that's going to happen. So announcements would be a good thing to have in your notifications, and have it as an immediate sort of alert. Okay. Now, let's go back in here. Let's see, any questions so far? Email already, okay. Any other questions come up yet? No? Okay, I don't want you to think I'm ignoring anybody. All right. Okay, let's go back to sharing an application, and I'm going to go to Firefox. Oh, don't need that. Okay, we've got Firefox here, and the thing that I wanted to bring up here is the ability to see some of the resources. We have a page. You can find this by going to Eastern's main website and simply do a search for online, and it'll bring up a link for Eastern Online. This particular page is Student Resources, and under Student Resources you have the orientation, you have the bookstore, test proctoring. Some of you will need to proctor. You need to have your test proctoring. There's software downloads, Canvas setup, academic calendar, e-tutoring, disability supports, admissions, the library, financial aid, etc., clear down to transcripts and a writer center. The writer center, for those of you that may have to do a paper now and again, the Writer Center can help you with your writing and can help you evaluate your papers prior to submission. Okay, you can do up a draft paper, get some help with it, and send in the best paper that you have available, and they can help you right there at the Writer Center. So you've got some really nice resources here, and I strongly recommend you look through them. I know they're just little icons here, but pretty easy to get to. The other things that we have is lists of courses, online programs, both graduate and undergraduate, minor certificates, and so forth. There's help with registration, and even a page that talks about costs, and of course a contact us page. So this right here, this Eastern Online, for our online students, you have a lot of resources that are pretty easy to get to, and I recommend that you check them out. Yeah. Let's take and go to, let's go to our class. There we go, course modules. Okay, here's how our courses are set up. And we have this, remember I talked about the basic setup and support information. We have a little copyright statement. And then we have a module that we call Getting Started. And that has a to-do list. When you go into that, it should show you that, okay, you need to check your course textbook, view the video, review the course syllabus, etc. And if you will use the next button as you go through the module, you won't skip anything. You can't go in and out and miss something. Here is an example of one of the course textbooks and the information that's provided. You want to make sure you have the right textbook for your course. You may be able to buy it used. You may need to get a new one. Depends on the course. There's usually a little instructor's welcome video.
Welcome to Food Nutritional Diet Therapy. I'm Craig, registered dietitian nutritionist. I'm the instructor for the class. This class is awesome. It
Now, I'm not sure if you could hear the audio on that, but this is Craig's introduction to his course. And we have two versions of it. We have one that we could call the low quality version and one a higher quality. The reason for that is some of you may be on slower lines, and if the high quality version does not play well for you, try the low quality. It may play a little easier. Then we go to the next button, and here's a review of the course syllabus. When you look at your syllabus, you can see a number of things going on. Like this, here's the nutrition syllabus. Tells what's happening. Look through all of it. It's showing what's in each of the course modules, all the content that's there, how it's graded, the grading scale, and then at the very bottom is the assignment summary. And all of this is ordered by due date. Okay, so it's all done by due date. The later ones are at the bottom. Make sense? That will be in each of your courses, and that's done automatically by Canvas. The syllabus is created by your instructor. All right. There's a calendar feature right here to the left. The calendar feature will bring up a number of items. It depends on how many classes. If you only have one class, then you will only have the one item. Okay, and this is being a little sticky. We're having a little bit of an issue when we start doing web conferencing and we have technology of a course within a course. We have things going on that sometimes a bit much for the computer to handle. So be aware. On your machine, it should work much easier. So you go through, find the class that you are working on, check the little box. It will turn a particular color, and then everything that you have that is in that color will be shown over in the calendar side. And it's being a little bit slow. It should update here in a minute. It shows me that on the 24th, I have an exam. There's a chapter discussion on the 31st. Second exam is on the 2nd, etc. So this, and you can click into this to go to that particular item. Be aware. So not only does it tell you where it is and when it is, it will take you to that location. So that works pretty cool. If you need to send messages through Canvas, you can go to the inbox. And here we go. And here's messages that I have from different people. And if I want to send a new one, I go to compose a message. It's the icon, the button that looks like a little piece of paper with a pencil laying on it. And I click that. I select which course I want to use, and I'm going to use the new student orientation. I can type in a name, or I can look at the list to find who I want to send it to, and I'm going to send this to the students. Of course, I can just send it to all students, everyone that's in the class, so I can hit that. That would be students and teachers. Or I can pick an individual and send it. I can put in a subject matter and send an individual message. and then I just go down into the box here, into the text box, and start typing. Got a little bit of a time delay with all the stuff up on the computer. But then I hit send, and that's all I need to do. If I'm responding to, if I bring up a particular message, then I can take and simply hit a reply button up here and type in my reply and go from there. Okay. Let's see what else we've got here. Okay. When you do your assignments and stuff, you will get feedback from your instructor. Let's see, let me go back to dashboard. Go to the online orientation. Let's see if I've got anything in here. For grades, I can go into the grades. You would only see the stuff that you did in the grades area, and you can go to the particular item, click on it, and it will show you what your grade is and show you any feedback from your instructor, anything they had to say about your particular assignment. So be aware that that's there. And you can go in and check on tests. You can, depends on whether your instructor makes it available. But most of the time you can look at your quizzes, you can look at your assignments, and get feedback from the instructor to see how you're doing and what they had to say about it. Okay? All right. Now, let's see, another thing that you have available to you. I know that the comment came up about collaborating with other students. And you have both the system that we're on right now, which is called Blackboard Collaborate. That is available. You can set up a web conference and you can talk to the other students. You can use conferences under the new, as one of the lines in the courses, and you can add a conference and start your own conference. This is using a different system. It's called Big Blue Button, but it's a web conferencing system, kind of like what we're using now, and has a whiteboard, and you can load up presentations and so forth. You also have a thing called collaborations, and in collaborations, you can use things like Google Docs. So one of you starts a paper that you have to submit or starts a PowerPoint presentation. And then other members of this group can go in and add to the document. You invite them to work on the document or work on the PowerPoint. And you can do that within Canvas, but you're working on Google Docs. And so you can do it as a cooperative venture. There will be, whoever originated the document has the final say on the version that can be sent to the instructor. But you can do this as a group. So this collaboration can be asynchronous, meaning you don't all have to be on the line at the same time. You can go in and work on the document, and it will record everything that happens. It will record the changes to the document, who made the changes, when they made them, and so forth. And it'll even allow you to go back and do an earlier version of the document if you don't like the way it got edited. You can go back and select an earlier version. That's the person that originates the document. All right. We've got that. Oh, one other thing I should mention. On your assignments, when you submit an assignment, if you are doing a paper and the instructor wants a draft and then wants a final paper, you can submit 2 or 3 versions of the paper. Every time you submit it, It doesn't overwrite the previous version, but it does time and date stamp everything. So you have that time and date stamp, and the last document entered can be the final document, and you do not have to worry about deleting the previous one, or being concerned about overwriting a previous one. All versions of the document will be available for the instructor to view, and you'll be able to submit however many versions you want. You do not have to make sure that one gets deleted before you can add another document.
Gary, can you use the test student and walk them through how to submit an assignment?
Okay, let's see what we can do here. Let me go to assignments. And, the one thing I should do, I should just go in and change my settings. I'm taking over the student view, and this is what you guys will see. There's a bunch of buttons here you wouldn't normally see. But let's go into modules. And then I'll find an assignment down here, something that needs to be done. Let's see what we've got. Well, I don't have too many assignments here. Let's go in here for a minute. Okay, so if this is an assignment, and it tells me it's right now it's worth 0 points, but there's a button up here that says Submit Assignment. And with that, then I can browse. I can go find where I've got it on my computer. I can go look in my documents and go down and find an assignment. And it tells me it's going to be this blended PDF, and I can submit the assignment. I can write in comments if I want to, but there. And notice that it tells that the submission was turned in January 3rd at 6:41 p.m. Then I can look for any details, and that's the actual document that I submitted. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy to do. And that could have been a Word document, could have been something else, could have been a spreadsheet if we're doing a math class or statistics or something of that nature. There's several things it could be, but it's just a matter of knowing where you save the document, then hitting submit. And notice that I can resubmit. So I can click on this and I can add another file. So I can browse and I can add another one. I can keep doing that. That's pretty cool. All right, in case you happen to send the prof the wrong one, there you go, you can straighten that out. Okay. Any questions so far? Will midterms finals be online as well by the lockdown browser or the in-person, or does it depend on the course? Yes, it depends on the course. Absolutely. Some instructors will use lockdown browsers. Some of them will require proctored testing. And some of them, you'll simply do your quiz online, or your tests will be online, and they're not proctored, and they may not be locked down. It just depends on the instructor. Absolutely instructor preference. And as Janet said, yes, for those that aren't aware, Lockdown Browser is a browser. It's free. You can download it. If the course requires it, you will need it to be able to do certain things, to be able to take the quizzes. And what we mean by lockdown is it keeps you from cruising out to any other sites while you're taking the test. You can't go Googling the answers or anything like that. Not on that computer. The lockdown browser won't allow that to happen. So you can take the test, but you won't be able to go wandering out on and browsing other websites and stuff. That's pretty much what's meant by lockdown. And yes, and proctoring is having some location where there's a real human watching what you're doing, taking your test. And that could be at another school for those of you on the west side. It could be at a library. There's several options available. Or it could be right here on the campus. And yes, anything that's as far as proctoring should all be in the syllabus. It should be there in nice bold letters that let you know it's a requirement. Not, there's only some of the courses that use proctoring, but those that do, there's no getting around it. You do have to work it that way. Other questions? Yes, and that proctoring question will be answered in emails. One of the things you need to do, for those of you that don't like using the student email, get over it. Because all the communications will be sent to your student email. Everything that Eastern wants to do with you, anything that is being sent out, any information that's going to be emailed to you is going to be emailed to your student email. So, and your instructors and stuff are going to send email to your student email. So please check it on a regular basis. I know you may have your favorite Google account or something else, but please do not ignore your campus email. Check it on a regular basis. Very important. Okay. Other questions or concerns? Well, I have covered pretty much what I intended to cover tonight, and we allowed a few more minutes. Would be happy to take, if anybody wants to hit their speaker or their microphone and ask some questions, I would be happy to take them now. Close that. I'm going to leave the page. Whoops. Okay, here we are, back here. Okay, back on site here. Please, any questions that you may have, and if anybody, Amy or Jeanette, would like to throw in any additional information, please do so.
Gary, do you have a time when you think you'll get the orientation up on the Eastern Online website? Because there's somebody that said they missed the first of it.
Okay. Yeah, I would say within the next couple of days it will be available. It takes it a little while to go through the processes and become available. It's got some gyrations to go through. But I'm guessing that either tomorrow or the next day it should be available on this site, and you should be able to access it and access the recording. But exact time I don't have, but I will try to get it up tomorrow. Any other questions, please?
We're also doing
About
another
any
one,
of the
Janet,
aspects.
on Thursday, remember?
Yes, you can also attend that one Thursday at 6.
Correct.
Our second orientation. We tried to have it twice to make sure we caught as many people as possible in case one night worked better for people than the other.
Right, right. So I'll be doing this again on Thursday. And you're welcome to come back if you want to repeat it, but both of those will be recorded, and you're welcome to view them at your leisure. Any more questions? Okay, everybody knows how to log in, set up your profile, get started on your course, and you're going to do it on a regular basis, right? Thanks, Christy. I appreciate that. All right. Well, I don't have anything else. I'm just ready to take any questions you might have. And we've got the folks that handle the registration and the support, Amy and Jeanette, that might be able to answer other questions that you will have, both technical and non-technical. All right. Yes, I hope you have a good start to the new year and have a good evening. Glad you could join us. All right, I'm going to end the recording now.